Superficially, Mrs. Margo MacDonald seems to have everything going for her. She's undoubtedly popular, and as a publican's wife, she's at home in the dark, masculine world of the Govan public bar. At the by-election 3 months ago, her majority was only 600. Labour can hardly be expected to do so badly again. So at lunchtime in the bars by the docks and the shipyard, she hammers the basic message home, fruit juice in hand.
The Scottish National Party is just the democratic means by which the people in Scotland say that they want self-government. And after that, you could elect Yogi Bear if you so desired.
Since the by-election in November, her campaign's hardly stopped rolling. As Margo rushes from one engagement to another, the importance of Govan to the SNP becomes clear.
I don't think you need any introduction to Mrs. Margo MacDonald.
The Scottish National Party badly needs to show it can hold seats at a general election as well as win them at by-elections.
This place is full of these surprises.
Mr. Harry Selby, Labour's diminutive candidate, hopes to give Mrs. MacDonald a wee surprise on Thursday. A local barber and a lifelong worker for the socialist movement, Mr. Selby may be small, but he's big fundamental views about Govan's problems.
We have rebuilt 100,000 corporation houses in Glasgow since the war. That's a whole new town, and it's increasing all the time. But every time you get a Tory government, down goes the rebuilding of houses, and that was the building of offices.
Mr. Selby was re-adopted despite his loss of a 7,000 majority with which Labour had won in 1970. He's a left-winger, which will probably do him no harm in Govan's docks and shipyard. Canvassing, he continually emphasises the need for working-class solidarity. He's bitter about the nationalists and what he calls their non-politics.
When I wasn't using a set table to divert back to the city chambers, I fought against it.
The Conservative candidate's Mr. John Mayer, a Glasgow solicitor who lost his deposit at the by-election. Then many Conservatives voted Nationalist as the most effective anti-Labour vote, but Mr. Mayer says they'll return for a general election.
Oh, it's very nice of you to have the victory waltz, Mr. Bowie. Thank you. That's what it'll be.
On the streets, Mr. Mayer's strong on the need for firm government, but union militants are probably feared less on the Clyde than elsewhere. He emphasises the government's success in cutting unemployment and emigration, and he castigates Labour's failures.
Well, the issues in Govan are this desolation, this dreadful wasteland we have here. I'm standing in the middle of the Harland and Wolff site, where 4 years ago we proposed private housing here and the socialists turned it down. Nothing has happened, as you can see, in 4 years, and that's over 500 houses that could have been here in Govan.
The fourth candidate also lost his deposit at the by-election. He's the Liberal, Mr. Peter Macmillan. As the manager of one of the largest local bingo halls, Mr. Macmillan's almost as well known as Mrs. MacDonald.
I think that's 30 years of, shall we say, neglect. Labour neglect, really, but they've been in power now in Glasgow for the 30 years.
But the Liberals have a harder time of it in Scottish constituencies where the Nationalists are strong than they do in English seats where they offer the only alternative to the two major parties. Despite all the Conservative and Liberal efforts on the south bank of the Clyde, Govan looks very like a two-horse race. A recent poll shows Labour and the SNP tied with 40% each. And tonight this fight for Govan could hardly be closer. David Rose, News at 10, Govan.